This
That is
conference
base
will now
price.
be recorded.
Base price or discount or surcharge or tax, whatever the conditions we discussed yesterday, all these conditions are called as so all these condition types are called as item conditions. Item conditions, but that determines at the item level. Okay, these conditions determine only at the item level. That means a material has a price and we are giving discount on a material and we are charging uh, freight or surcharge on on the same material, and we are also charging the tax on the same material, right? So all these conditions are determined at the item level and they are called as item conditions. Okay. So just like that, we have header conditions, which determines at the header level. So as we know, if something comes at the item level, it is only for that particular item. But if something is determined at the header level, it is applicable for total document, irrespective of number of line items, right? So let's go to V/06. In the V/06, if I go to PR00, PR00, you see here, it's marked as item condition. Base price PR00 is marked as item conditions. Likewise, if I take it to a discount K004, this is also marked as item condition. Maybe tax, surcharge KF00. You see, it's marked as item condition because these all are determined into sales document at the item level. Okay. So now let's discuss about the header conditions. What are header conditions? HA00. You see HA00 header condition. It's a percentage discount which we could offer at the header level. HB00. HB00 is a fixed amount discount which we can offer at the header level. Likewise, header freight, you want to charge freight at the header level, HD00. You see, header condition. And HM00, order value. What order value you want to override, then you could do this, right? So header conditions have some special features or some properties. So what are the special features or properties of header condition? That is, header conditions will be determined only at the header level. That they will not determine actually. See, determine means it should come automatically, right? So header conditions will not determine. Header conditions has to be processed manually by user. So header conditions manually user has to enter it at the header level and process it. Okay. So what is the properties or features of the header condition? That is, header conditions comes at the header level. That means it has to be processed at the header level manually. All header conditions are manual conditions. I'll show you what is manual. All header conditions are manual conditions. So header conditions, and you could see here. So header conditions will apply to all the line items in the sales document. Header conditions should be always processed manually, and header conditions will not have access sequence. Header conditions will not have access sequence. You see this? There is no access sequence. Header conditions will not have access sequence. Any header condition you take, there will not be any access sequence. That means when there is no access sequence, can we maintain condition record? Anyone? If there is no header condition, can we maintain condition record? No, right? It's not possible.
No, no.
Okay, it's not possible because header conditions are like it has to be processed manually in the sales document. So there will not be any condition record maintained for this because it has to be directly processed in the sales document. So it does not have an access sequence. So if in interviews they ask a question, only header conditions don't have access sequence, are header conditions only the conditions which is not having access sequence? No. There are a few item conditions as well. So in interviews they can ask a question like are only the header conditions does not have access sequence, or they may ask a question, can you tell some item conditions which is not having access sequence? Okay, so it's not only header conditions, there are also item conditions like R100, R100, 100% discount condition. You see, it's an item condition, but no access sequence. Item condition, no access sequence. NRAB, NRAB, free goods discount. You see, it's an item discount, no access sequence. So it's not only header conditions, there are some item conditions which will not have access sequence. Okay, so let's see how do we process this header conditions into the sales document. So I'll go to v/08, v/08 and A001, right? We are using A001 or B001. Not this. We are using A001. Server is this. Maybe not this server. Maybe this server. No. Just a moment. We confused with what server we configured yesterday. Is it in that server? Let me quickly check if this is server or if this is server we use. One moment. Okay, maybe not this server, I guess. Okay, let me check v/06. Condition what we created is A001. Yeah, this server. v/06, v08. Yeah, A001. This is what we created yesterday. So let us place a header condition. I want to give a fixed amount discount. So what I'll do is I'll create, we discussed right yesterday, any discount will be between base value and gross value. So I'll create one step here called as 55, 55 and place HB00, which is a header condition. Okay, so let's save this. So anyway, this condition is not having access sequence. That means no condition required. Okay, so we don't need to maintain a condition record because there is no access sequence, right? So let us go to sales order, VA01, VA01 order. So this header condition should not come automatically into the sales document. We have to process, that is user has to enter it. So for what purpose these header conditions will be useful? Because we already have many discounts, right? But still why we are talking about the header conditions? Because These are like a last minute discounts, or these are like managerial discount. At the last minute, if manager want to offer some more discount, or if customer is asking for more discount, so you want to enter directly into the sales document. For that customer, for one discount, you cannot again come back to the consultants, right? Or we cannot process a new condition. So for that reason, we usually use this. So if I go to the item level and conditions, you will see this. HB00, you will see this, but it should not come automatically. But why it has come automatically here? As we discussed, header conditions has to be processed by user manually. How do we process any condition manually? You see this checkbox, manual. So as we have not activated it, so the reason it has determined automatically. Now I mark it manually. I marked it as manually. So I'll create a sales order. Sales order. Now if I enter and go to item level, you will not see this condition. You see, there's no HB00. Even though this HB00 is there in our procedure, it's there in our procedure, HB00 gross, okay, it went to gross value. It should be on the gross value, so I should create a step number 45. Let us delete this, save it. We should create step, maybe 35 I'll create. 35 and the HB00. Okay, we saved it. So let me create an order again. So let's go to the item level, conditions. So you don't see, shit, we haven't marked the manual again. Let's come back, manual. Many times I told you, right, it's only a configuration mistake. You will not face errors because of the configuration only. You will see the errors. If not, very rarely we get errors. So VA0. Okay, so let's go to conditions, and we don't see HB00 here. Okay. But if I try to process, we discussed, right, all header conditions are manual and they have to be processed only at the header level. But if I try to do this at the item level, let's see what happens. You see, system throws an error and system says that this condition is not allowed as item condition. How does system know? Because in the condition types, it's marked as header condition, right? So this condition is not allowed as item condition. So let's go to the header level. Let me remove this. Go to header level. Conditions. So now let's process. What is the total customer is paying? That is 830, right? So customer is asking for more discount. Our manager want to offer some discount to this customer. So how this particular values has come? These values has come here with the configuration of condition technique. So if you want to add something new or you want to edit something, again you need to go back to the consultant to configure all these things. So you give some authorization to the users, maybe manager, so that they could process this particular discounts at the order itself. So we want to give $30. Now we want to make this particular order value as 800. right? So we already, the price is 1000, but already we have given 2 discounts, but still more 30 discount we want to give through header. So how do we do that? HB00 and amount 30 we want to offer as a fixed discount. You see, still it is 830, right? It has not taken effect. So what is like header condition property we discussed? It has to be processed manually. So you see this you see this particular checkbox, sorry, this field. So if I go back to item conditions, anyway, this will get now activated. If I go to item, if I go to item conditions, you just observe this particular buttons here, condition record, analysis, and update. But if I go to header, do you see any change in these buttons? Anyone comparing to the item?
Yes, sir.
Right? There is no analysis button at the header level, right? And there is activate button. This activate button is for the header conditions. Now you see 30 has been 30 has been initiated minus, and it has become 800. Maybe I'll change it again. I'll put it as 50, let's say, but it will not take effect. You see, even though I put 50, it is still 30. When it will take effect, only we click on the activate. When you click on activate, now you see 50 and the price has become 780. So these header conditions is limited only at the manager level or user level to propose some discount at the order itself, user discretion or manager discretion. Because if you want to add one more discount again, you need to go back to, you cannot process item conditions manually. You cannot do them. It has to be determined, that's it. But header conditions, you can place it manually, just like what we did now, and we could activate them. This is header discount. Discount or freight, it works the same way. Freight means it will come here. But there is one more condition called as order value. Okay, order value. So how much customer is paying here? How much the customer is paying here? Let me check. So usually customer is paying 800, right? But we don't want 800. We want it to overwrite it and make it as maybe 500. Okay. See, instead of adjusting, giving the discounts and adjusting the value to the nearest round figure or something like that, rather than that, how about we just override the value itself? Rather than proposing a discount, just override the value to whatever the value you want. Okay, 700, 600, whatever it is, you could just override the value. How could we override the value? That is through total order value condition, HM00. HM00 order value condition. But it's very important. Can we process a tax condition manually? Anyone? Can we process a tax condition manually? You can't do that. Okay. Tax should be always determined automatically. Okay, it has to come automatically. Tax cannot be processed manually. Okay, it has to be automatically determined, and user is not allowed to change the tax. Not only in India, any country, this is the same legal rule. Tax should not be processed manually. Tax has to be determined automatically. And if you see in the sales order also, tax is grayed out. Users are not allowed to change them. Right. So it's very important. We can overwrite only net value. We cannot overwrite tax. Tax will be whatever it is determined. Okay. So it's very important. This order value condition should be always placed below to the net value, above to the tax. Because it will overwrite every condition, but we cannot overwrite tax, right? So if you place below to the tax, it will also overwrite our tax. So we don't want that. So I'll put it as 75 step number 75, and condition type is HM00, and yeah, that's it, that's enough. HM00, you see, This order value condition should be always below to the net value so that it can overwrite all the above conditions, but it should not touch the tax condition. So let's create an order. We use 01 order. So let's go to just a minute. Okay. The issue is we haven't marked it as manual. All header conditions should be manual conditions, right? We have not marked it as manual. So system has overwritten everything and made it as 0. In the sales order, you could see, yeah, in the sales order, you see, it has made everything 0. It has just overwritten. But we don't want to overwrite it automatically, right? So it has to be manual. All header conditions should be marked as manual. Okay. If user, okay, anyway, we'll create an order and check. So if you go to the header level, you see now we have the price, right? 830. If we go to the conditions, so this is our structure. But we want to override this. Let's say instead of proposing that $30 or whatever it is, let's say we have given authorization to override the net value to whatever. We cannot give whatever the value because you cannot keep discounting the base price, right? If you discount the base price, you will be in loss. So maybe up to $50 or anything they have authorization. Here we are not limiting. For limiting again, we have a condition called as PMIN, price minimum. We could, with price minimum condition, we can tell system our base would give any number of discounts, but our base price should not fall under certain value. That means let's say for 1,000, if I put 900 as my PMIN, system will offer any discounts for only $100. Okay, system will not allow you to like fall the base price under 900. So here what we'll do is I'll insert HM00 and you observe where it will determine. It will come below to the net value and above to the tax. See how this all values has come, anyone? How this all values has come? Condition technique, right? How this all values has come? Through condition technique calculation. But if I'm just overwriting or striking this price saying that 800, is there any purpose for the condition technique, anyone? If I'm just overwriting the value with one strike, then is any purpose for this condition technique or these conditions? No, right? So what I'll do is I'll overwrite it with 800. I'll overwrite it with 800. You see, all the item conditions are in green. All the conditions are green. But if I process this HM00, all the item conditions will be deactivated, inactive, because they don't have any purpose here, right? There is no purpose here because with just one stroke, we have updated the item price. Okay, so we don't see item conditions being here. Everything get deactivated. Okay, so this is header conditions. So this is how the header condition works. Header conditions can be processed at the header level. It can be processed only at the header level, and header conditions can be a header discount, a header freight, or complete order value change. Very important. In the interviews, they may ask the question on header. There is one more concept related to header conditions called as group condition. Any of these, out of any both, you may face one question. Very important concept. So when you write your skill set in the resume, how do you write that skill sets? So we should not write just worked on pricing, or we should not write configured condition table access sequence, because see, when you say pricing, it is obviously a condition technique, right? Configuring of tables, access sequence, everything. You don't need to elaborate or mention it. Okay. So when you write your skill set, when it comes to the resume, you have to elaborate. You need to showcase your skill set, like pricing hyphen header condition, group condition, condition supplement, condition index, condition update, condition exclusion. Like this way, these are the concepts what we'll be going to discuss. So this all you need to mention. That's how you showcase your knowledge to your interviewer, and they know like what all areas of pricing you work. Okay, so that is very important. Okay, so here we'll stop it here today. So this is what we'll be discussing, header conditions. On Monday, we'll discuss about condition type controls. If you go to v/06, we have condition types, right? Just like Vivo V8 or Vivo V7, we have lots of controls, right? All these controls. You see, this is all like what we're talking: condition index, condition and update. This is called as condition supplement, is called as group condition, this called as condition exclusion. So this is what the concept we'll be discussing scenarios. So on Monday, we'll start discussing. This may take at least 2 to 3, minimum 3 sessions, definitely. This will take 3 sessions, and this will take 1 session. So another 4 sessions, probably the whole next week we'll finish pricing. Okay. But this weekend, please practice pricing, the structure. So I could not upload the video yesterday. It was a very busy day today, so I could not upload. So I'll upload both the videos, today's and yesterday's, maybe in the next 1 hour. So please practice and make sure you're thorough with this. As I told you, don't do anything else apart from pricing until we finish pricing session. This weekend, please practice only these two and be thorough with this. So any questions, please go ahead.
Sir, end user are able to edit net value.
Yes, but we have controlled it not to do that. So what is our base price condition? A001. Right. Okay, it should be. Where is the sales order? Yeah, this is a control actually. We'll discuss anyway. Manual entries. You can tell system whether user will have manual entry or not. If yes, then whether user is allowed to change the amount and percentage or not. So we can control whether user is allowed to change or not, whether delete or not. So this all we could control. Okay. Yeah. So we'll call it a day today. Catch up on Monday, and Monday we'll continue with condition type controls. So please finish this other condition today itself, because you'll be pretty occupied next week. It just looks like fields, but these all are scenarios. Okay. So you need to practice all these things. Whatever is there, just finish by this weekend. Good day, everyone. Catch up on Monday. Goodbye.